welcome to another episode of Board Game Coach. Today we're going to talk about a new game of Mage Company who is currently seeking funding for it on Kickstarter right now. And we have to say Mage Company really is on a roll lately. Last year they successfully funded Höyük, 12 Runes, Ancestors Legacy and Raid and Trade. And this year it looks like that won't be any different. They are currently seeking funding for an expansion, the second expansion for Höyük, named Höyük Anatolia. And it adds different new achievements to the game. Mage Company was so friendly to send me a prototype version of the game, which allows me to present you a preview of the game. So without any further ado, I will show you the new components that will come in this second expansion to Höyük. So, what will you be able to find in the expansion? The expansion will come with a progress board showing you the 3 different achievements you can choose from and the points you will be able to score at the end of the game. Each player will receive 2 progress markers which you will use to show the other players which achievements you have chosen and you will try to fulfill during the game. You can only choose 2 achievements and you can't change your choice after the game has started. Also, you can only work on 1 achievement at a time. You have to finish 1 achievement before you can go trying to work on another achievement. So how do these achievements work? When you have chosen the artifact achievement, you need to build 1 story houses to build an artifact on top of it. Once you have built an artifact on top of it, you can't place anything else on that house except for a villager. At the end of the game, if you have built 1 artifact on any of your houses, you will score 5 victory points. If you have built 2 artifacts, you will score 10 victory points. It's the only achievement that will give you points even though you didn't finish it completely. Then we have the Valley Festival achievement. To do this you will need to collect 5 different festival tokens, and these festival tokens have symbols that correspond to the symbols on the aspect cards. So during the game you will need to collect 5 different aspect cards and trade them in for the corresponding festival tokens. The last achievement is the water supply system. So for the water supply system you need to start building a house on a water area and building other houses adjacent to it, and then you can also add your water tokens on top of your houses. If you have 5 water houses that are connected this way, then you are able to score those points. But it's important that you achieve this at the end of the game. So if your house is ruined, you lose your water supply and you need to rebuild your house and add another water token to it. So let me prepare a game for you so you can actually see with the other components how things work. So, I have set up the board for you and I will show you each achievement how it is played one at a time. As usual, during the construction phase we will draw a construction card which will show us what actions we can take during the game. So we are allowed to build 2 houses. Let us do that and build a 1-floor house. So we add those to the board. So normally we would be able to build another pen, but with Anatolia we can use one of these elements to build an actual artifact. So we will take our artifact and place it on top of our house, and this way we already have 1 artifact built on top of one of our house, and if we are able to keep it until the end of the turn or the game, then we will be able to score 5 points. If we are able to do that for another house, we will be able to score 10 points. The second achievement is the Valley Festival, and to be able to achieve that achievement, you will need to collect the aspect cards with the right symbols, because not all cards have a matching symbol according to the festival tokens. So in this case, we will need to collect 5 different aspect cards who each match a symbol on the festival tokens, and then in our turn, in the construction phase, we can trade these cards in, put them back on a stack of aspect cards and get the festival tokens. If we are able to do that, then we score 18 victory points at the end of the game, and that's a permanent achievement. So once you have done this, there's no way you can lose those victory points. The last achievement I want to show you is the water supply system. So to achieve that, you will need to build a house on this river or in this water area. So let us take in the construction phase or construction card and build a house on top of the river. Now again, like was the fact for the artifact, we can use one of these elements to use a token of the expansion. Let us put a water supply token on top of this house. Now to be able to score the victory points, we will need to build 4 additional houses adjacent to each other, while making sure we also add the water supply tokens on top of them. If we are able to do this and maintain this until the end of the game, we will score 15 victory points. In the case one of our houses is ruined, you lose the victory point and you will need to build a new house and make sure you add another water supply token on top of it. So that concludes the 3 different achievements that come with the game. One thing I need to add is the fact that there are also build actions on your aspect cards. You can't use these actions to build water supply tokens or artifacts. You need to do this using the construction cards. Personally, I like this new expansion. For me, Höyük has always been about trying to figure out what your opponents are going to do, staying one step ahead of them while maintaining your own strategy. And with Anatolia, there are several new ways you can do this. You will need to stay ever vigilant on your opponents, because you can actually influence their progress by taking advantage of your clan powers and taking into account the disasters that might show up and affect blocks and families. Now, the achievements also feel really well balanced. Some of them are harder to achieve than others, but then again, those that are harder offer permanent effects where others can be taken away from you. The fact that they can be taken away from you also adds a nice new tension to the game. It's not because you achieved something during the game that will still be the case at the end of the game, and you only score those precious victory points at the end of the game. Now, does Anatolia offer enough content for an expansion? For me it does, but I'm not sure if everyone will agree on that. Anatolia builds on the gameplay mechanics that were already in the base game and doesn't really add something new. You could say that the placement of the houses in water areas is a new gameplay mechanic, but that's too small for me to say it's a new gameplay mechanic. Also, I have a feeling that I couldn't shake away, and I'm not sure if it's justified. I will need to play the expansion some times more to actually make up my mind about it, but the fact that there aren't any repercussions by not achieving your goals you said you were going to achieve, that was something I couldn't shake away. So, like I said, I'm not sure if it's justified. I'm sure Mage Company and the designer will have thought about it and play tested it. Maybe it just doesn't work in Höyük, but to be sure for myself, I will need to play the expansion a little bit more to make my mind about it. But then again, I actually can recommend this expansion if you already own the base game, or you are interested from what you have seen. Please check out their Kickstarter page. Also, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them in the comment sections and I will be happy to answer them. Thank you for watching this video preview, and as always, may the board be with you and the dice be ever in your favor. Bye bye!